Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received, and the translation of that message reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story? So, I betrayed my own best friend, and I told my best friend that her husband was cheating because I had other motives. I had the intentions of keeping him to myself, so I had to come up with a strategy to make sure that she was going to hate her husband as much as possible before I could make my own great move. My name is Lindiwe, not a real name, and I never thought that I'll be that kind of a person to betray someone that I loved. But here I am confessing to one of the worst things that I have ever done. I betrayed my best friend in a way that it is very hard to even believe. I was lying about her husband, destroying their marriage, and now that the love that I fought so hard for, I am asking myself, was it worth losing the one true friend that I had in my life? Should I keep this man? So me and my friend, we had been best friends since high school. We did everything together. We would study, party, cried over boyfriends, and celebrated each other's successes. She was the sister that I never had, and I truly loved her. But things started to change when she got married. Temba, not his real name. Temba was everything a woman could ever want. He was very handsome, and above it all, he was financially stable and successful. From the moment that I met him, I knew that I was in trouble. The reason as to why I knew that things were not going to be okay, it was because I was drawn to him in a way that I could not explain, and it made me to feel ashamed of myself. I was jealous. There was this jealousness that formed in my stomach. I told myself that it was just a crush that was going to pass, but the feelings only got stronger and stronger. I began to notice things about Temba, how he would smile at me, how his eyes kept on lingering on a little bit too long whenever I would laugh at his unfunny jokes. I convinced myself that he felt the same way about me, that there was something unspoken between us. I hated myself for it, but I could not stop. I started finding excuses to spend time with them just so I could be around him. And every time I left, I felt like I was betraying my friend. Things reached a breaking point when my friend confided in me that she and her husband were having problems. And she said he had been distant lately, working late hours and coming home tired, every day coming back home tired. She was worried that he might be losing interest in her, but she dismissed the idea of him cheating and said that he can never do something like that, and said that he was a good man. That was the moment that I saw my chance. I saw that my friend was at her weakest and she was vulnerable, and she was willing to do whatever that I was suggesting for her to do, and I could not stop myself. I then started lying to her, since she said, Chomi, you need to assist me. If it happens that you see my husband doing things that he's not supposed to do, please inform me in time. And then the lies came. I told her that I had seen her husband with another woman. It was a lie, a complete fabrication, but I said it with such conviction that she believed in me. I told her that I had seen them at a restaurant, sitting close, laughing, holding hands. I even made up details about the woman, what she looked like, and what they were wearing. The look on her face broke my heart. I wanted to cry with her, but I pushed the guilt aside, told myself that I was doing herself a favor and that she deserved to know if her husband was cheating. And when you start to lie, you keep on believing in your own lies with time. Over the next few weeks, their marriage started to experience a lot of problems. She confronted her husband and he denied everything, but the seed of doubt had been planted. She started checking everything, his phone, his move, accusing him of things that he had not done. The more that they fought, the more that they became more distant. I watched everything. I used to go to their house trying to help them out, but The next morning, when her husband will be at work, I would go there to gossip, to tell her that her husband did not love her because of the things that he had said in the previous meeting that I would have had with them, trying to give them counseling, which was bad advice anyway. The more that I fought, the more that I got excited. I was satisfied, even though I hated what I was doing, but I could not stop. I wanted this man, and I was willing now to do whatever that it was going to take to have him. One night after another argument, that was when the husband called me. He sounded broken, frustrated, and angry. He said that he did not know what was happening because the wife was no longer trusting him anymore and accused him of things that he had not done. And I said, "What are you doing now?" Because he was just walking around not knowing where he was headed to. I pretended as if I wanted to become a supportive friend. Since we stayed in the same neighborhood, I said, "Instead of going somewhere far, why don't you just come to my place so that we can speak? Then I will call your wife so that your wife can come as well, so that we can have a meeting." Within a few minutes, I had a knock on the gate and I was excited, for I knew that it was him. I then undressed myself and I wore a very short dress that was a see-through. I went and I opened the gate for him and he got inside. Even when I looked at him, he saw that I was wearing a see-through and nothing underneath. He kept on coughing and coughing. I then told him that I wanted to give him some water to drink, and I started just burning all over the place until I sat down. He kept on looking at me. By the time that he said that he wanted to return back home, I walked in front of him when we went to the front door and turned around, and I said, "Do you really want to leave Temba? Do you want to go, or you want to be here?" And he said, "I do want to be here." And that was when we did whatever that we did. Then he said that he did not want the wife anymore, and now he wanted me because I was trustworthy. Yes, I used to present myself as someone who is trustworthy to him, even though I had multiple boyfriends. Throughout the night when he was asleep, I deleted every guy whom I had ever dated and still dating. By the time that my friend found out about us eventually, she confronted me, screaming and crying, but I had no answer. All that I could do was stand there and take it, knowing that I had done her wrong. She told me that I was a snake, ruined her life. Just like that, that was when I lost my friend. Now I am with Temba, but it does not feel like the victory that I thought it would be. Our relationship, I feel as if it is built on lies and betrayal. Can this relationship last like what Temba is telling me? He said that let us hold on for this relationship. It is going to last. I need your help, please. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. That was the translation of that message. Please let us try to speak with her in the comment section. Yo.